What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. So I want you guys to take a listen at this video, and then I am going to add my thoughts. So this video I saw this morning, which I did another video that I had to scrap because the power went off and back on. And yeah, nonsense. So anyway, it's all good. No harm done. Take a listen to this.
Simon, it's going to happen, it's not going to happen, it's going to happen. There was a deadline yesterday, now it's not going to happen. Tyson Fury has declared that the Anthony Joshua fight is off due to this deadline that Tyson seemingly himself imposed yesterday. It's come and gone.
Deadline that Tyson Fury himself, Tyson Fury, Frank Warren is not on board with him with that. Frank Warren said there's no need for the fight to not happen. And, it's Tyson Fury is the one saying, he has until 5 o'clock. First off, let's not overlook that.
That contract being signed. You and I were talking to Fury on Saturday night when we were up in Manchester. Anyway, it seems that the moment has come and gone. This was Fury.
Well, guys, it's official. D-Day has come and gone. It's gone past 5 o'clock Monday. No contract has been signed. It's officially over for Joshua. He's now out in the cold with the Wolfpack. Forget about it. Idiot. Coward. Mouse. Bodybuilder. Always knew it. Always knew you didn't have the minerals to fight the Gypsy King. Regardless of what you say now, I don't really care. Good luck with your career and your life. End of. Peace out.
So where's the end of? I mean, we do know there's more to this, Simon. We do know there's more to this, and we'll get into what you know in a second, because I know you were on the blower yesterday. You've got some more information that you might be able to give us, but I know it's probably confidential. Frank Warren, Fury's UK promoter, was on Drive yesterday. He was asked whether or not he believes the fight can yet happen.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it was never going to get signed by 5 o'clock. That's the ultimatum that Tyson put on. But we're waiting for it to come back. And if it comes back, then we can get things sorted out quickly.
That's the ultimatum that Tyson gave them. So basically, he's pushing this whole, you have until this day, this hour, that hour, from his ego. It's his ego he's trying to stroke. And his affiliation with WWE and stuff that they're trying to get him involved with. They're trying to work around the schedule. Like I said, Triple H was just saying this the other day about Tyson Fury and working with him and Logan Paul. And bottom line, okay, like he said, now you heard Frank Warren. This is Tyson Fury giving this ultimatum. There's no reason that this thing has to be, it has to be about today. If he wasn't saying any of this stuff, none of the fans would be saying, why is he taking so long? How come he ain't signed it yet? None of them. It's only the Tyson Fury fans, okay, and the people who are not informed of what's what. Like these two guys talking, they have a relationship with Fury. They don't want to burn bridges with him or Anthony Joshua, so they're trying to play neutral, okay? They don't know the details of the contract, what's going on with the networks, and all that. They don't know the details of that. So they can't say what is and what isn't. Something could be explained to them that would make them say, I see. You heard Frank Warren just say, there's no way that it was going to be done by 5 o'clock today. That's, no way. That's Frank Warren saying that. Tyson Fury's manager saying that. Okay? That's Frank Warren saying it. Now, if Eddie Hearn was saying it, you guys are, but they're just ducking. They're changing their mind. They're getting cold feet. This is Frank Warren saying this because Frank Warren understands what has to happen. This is Tyson Fury playing duck, 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 goose. I don't really want no smoke, but I want to make it look like that. You heard him say it. So these guys don't want to like they're showing favoritism, but they chewed Tyson Fury up in the last time that they was interviewing him on the show with the Usyk situation. So plain and simple, you hearing this from Frank Warren's mouth.
Hopefully we might be able to get it on, but it's Tyson's sort of basically lost patience. They've had it for 10 days, and that's where we're at. I don't like deadlines. I don't like doing all this, but that's what Tyson said, so that's where we are. So I
don't like deadlines. I don't like doing this, but that's what Tyson wants. Okay, you hear this? So there's no reason. Do you understand? There's no reason for this. It's him. He's not making a big deal. First off, Usyk told you guys he couldn't fight by December because he was injured and he was going to need time to heal. We can make this happen early 2023, late 2023, all these different dates that we heard about, right? Why would you be dependent on anything Usyk says based on him saying he won't be ready, don't rush us? But then he just said, his manager, whatever, last week said, we could fight Tyson before the year is up. It was them who said they were out. So nothing's etched in stone with that. Now you hear Usyk saying he wants to fight Tyson Fury. So he wants to show too, hey, you talking like you the man, Fury, but I got 3 belts, let's not forget. Okay, it's not a mandatory between me and you. I can choose to fight Wilder if I want. So you ain't the only one that can pick and choose. And also understand, this is not something that was offered to Anthony Joshua ahead of time. This was something that Fury just came out of nowhere with. So it's not like they had an agreement and then all of a sudden Anthony Joshua is saying, nah, I don't want to fight. They are understanding of what's going on. So you hearing Frank Warren say this. Not to mention again that it took them 8 days to finally send the contract in the first place. After he said, okay, we accept your terms. So now they want him to rush, but they took their sweet time sending the contract out, right? Nobody talked about that and rushed that part of it. But we know it's a network situation right now. Nothing that's being negotiated now or holding up the fight now in negotiations has anything to do with the terms of 60-40 and we want to fight. It's plain and simple. And if you're too dumb to understand that, then that's on you.
Got to keep working and see where we get with it.
So, I mean, Frank, they're saying maybe it wasn't as tight a deadline as we think, but nonetheless, Fury seems to think it's over.
No.
I mean, I know
it's not as much of a deadline as Fury think. Fury's the one setting the deadline. Did you not hear this? He's the one who's setting the deadline. And you just heard Frank Warren say, I don't like deadlines. This is Fury's doing this. See, they're trying, like I said, they're trying to play neutral. So they don't want to let their show favoritism to Fury or Joshua.
You
have to set deadlines on anything. Right? If you wanted to do something, you wanted to achieve something, you have to put a drop dead date on things to concentrate people's minds to get things done. Now, if you want to deliver an outcome,
which is true, but there's also different situations. Okay? In fairness, there's no reason that you can fight Usyk on December the 12th, but not Anthony Joshua. This fight is not even going to be on the 12th. They're trying to schedule it for the 3rd of December. Okay, and so basically what they're not saying, well, overall, Fury's trying to rush this thing. And he's not even giving him to December 12th. Now, Anthony Joshua agreed to it, but at the same time, he was going to give Usyk to the 12th. So why not Anthony Joshua? Let me reiterate. He was dependent on Anthony Joshua to mentally not be ready. He wanted to look incredible against AJ, beat the fuck out of him. They're going to compare his performance versus Usyk's performance. Oh, he'll destroy Usyk. Usyk didn't do that to Joshua like that. He outpointed him, but Fury really put it on him. This is what he wanted. Okay? Got to bring these things back because people forget. Yes, there are times you have to set deadlines on things. But there's also times when if you really want something, you'll say, okay, cool, you know what? How many times have you ordered something? And then it takes longer than it, all right, you really want it, right? So you just be patient and you wait. Now you can be impatient. You know what? Forget it. I'll get it from somewhere else. You cancel your order. Then you can't find it anywhere else. Now you're mad at yourself because why? You canceled the order, right? Being impatient. Sometimes things work out the way you want it to. Sometimes it doesn't. The point is, Fury has an agenda, and he's making this more of an issue of sign the contract. I don't care. I don't care about your situation. Okay? When Fury came back off of his 3-year layoff, right? Imagine somebody trying to rush him into the ring with top opposition instead of the 2 meatballs he got in there with. He would have took his sweet time. No, I'm not jumping in there right now. That's why on his 3rd fight, he was so confident to fight Wilder because he knows Wilder can't fucking box. You understand? So it was, that's a cherry pick. And he was a cherry pick for Wilder. We know that. So yes, I know, and I get it. Where I work, you have to have deadlines on things at times. We get it. But there's also times we give extensions, okay? Just like, for example, if you paying a fucking bill and all of a sudden something happens and you got to come up with money that you really don't want to spend, but you have no choice, and then all of a sudden now you need an extension on a certain bill. Okay, then. It's supposed to be paid on the 7th, but you might need into the 14th or some shit. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, things happen. Let's not sit here and make it like, oh, it has to happen. Frank Warren himself just said he doesn't believe in deadlines. He don't like doing that. This is, Fury's doing that. Simple. And I got to say the things that they're not saying because, people get the narrative that they overlook those narratives. They overlook those facts, those issues. And then they, not understanding it's not about Anthony Joshua not wanting to fight him. But Fury fans get mad because you can't say the same thing for him truthfully. They're going to say it. They'll say it. Like I said, because they're trying to play neutral. Aries don't have to do that.
You have to engage in the process of delivering a contract. If that contract isn't fit for purpose and you don't like its conditions and you want to adjust them, you have to involve yourself in a negotiation. If you then have that negotiation and the side that's offered you the contract then acquiesce and say, okay, we can meet in the middle, we could do a co-pro, we can do a bunch of stuff, you can be involved in commercial discussions, you can be at the table as well. Now turn the contract round, mark it up, because you're the ones that don't want the contract we put forward to you. And they don't. And people go off and they have other fights to deal with, like Canelo Alvarez and Triple G. And they don't come back. Then people like Tyson Fury that will feel, I'm in the box seat. Anthony Joshua was once in the box seat. I'm in the box seat now. I'm the undefeated heavyweight champion of the world. I'm the one giving you an opportunity. I want you to work to certain timelines. And I want to have a deadline because I want to know who I'm fighting in December.
So who's ducking who?
No, you're saying he wants to know who he's fighting in December. He already knows who he's fighting in December. He's fighting Manuel Charr. That's who he was supposed to be fighting from the very beginning. And that's what the argument with him and Derek Chisora was about, like I told you guys in the last video. That's what he was saying to him. He was saying, I want the fight. You said my name. You said that you wanted, Frank Warren said my name. You said my name. So I want to fight. If you really want to fight, sign the contract. What did he say to him? Okay, for me to sign a contract, you have to send a contract. So there was no contract sent, but it was talk. So no, he already had that in his mind. He was fighting Manuel Charr. Manuel Charr is the one who said, yeah, I'm fighting Fury next. Not Anthony Joshua, I am. The other Fury guy, Shane Fury, said, oh yeah, no, I think that definitely that Fury is fighting Manuel Charr. Hold up. Let's go back. Okay? He just did the same thing Teofimo Lopez did. Y'all don't have a problem calling no bullshit on Teofimo Lopez for doing the same shit, right? He gave his word and shook Bill Haney's hand and said he promised him that him and Devin will be next. Remember the argument? Man, I ain't ducking nobody. Sign a contract. Sign a contract. Devin Haney jumped in his face and said, what contract? You ain't sent no damn contract. What contract? If Devin Haney hadn't said that, you know what people would have said? Well, how come Devin Haney didn't check him on that? If he never sent the contract, that's what he would have said, right? But he says it, and it's still another excuse, of course. Okay? Bob Arum shook the hand of T.O.'s dad, and T.O. promised him Lomachenko will be the next fight. Well, what happens? T.O. fights George Kambosos. He gets beat. And then when he's asked about who you think is going to win or what you think about, Haney and Kambosos, oh, man, it was a setup from the beginning. What do you mean it was a setup? Man, it was a setup. They set this whole thing up for Devin Haney to win because DAZN knew what I was about to do. I was about to drop the belts and go to 140. So him saying that, he's trying to prove the point that they robbed him because he won every round, which was basically he was smoking something real potent. He was really smoking something or sticking something in his arm to believe that. So he was going to beat George Kambosos, drop the belts, and go to 140. So DAZN was aware of it. They knew what he was going to do. So they basically robbed him. So, and him trying to expose DAZN and say it was set up for Devin Haney to win, which is what he basically said. What he did was expose the fact he never had any intentions on fighting Devin Haney, even though he shook his father's hand and promised. He never had intentions on fighting Lomachenko in a rematch, even though his dad shook Bob Arum's hand and promised. And then he was just going to go to 140, regardless. No, there was no setup. George Kambosos beat his ass. And bottom line, Devin Haney beat George Kambosos' ass. Now, isn't that the same fucking, principle of Tyson Fury saying, oh, I want the fight, such and such. Usyk is bitching, what you want to do? And then he takes the fight, and then all of a sudden now he starts giving these little ultimatums. Who else have you ever seen Fury do that to? Who else? With Usyk, it's undisputed, and instead of you even building this fight up to be that fight, you're sitting here criticizing Usyk, calling him a middleweight, and saying that you basically can beat him off for a week's notice. And even one interview before, he was calling him a steroid, talking about the little steroid middleweight. You know what I'm saying? Like just saying a bunch of crazy stuff, calling him a foreigner, wouldn't say his name, just kept saying a Ukrainian. It's like all this kind of bullshit. But at the same time, now that he signs the contract, you want to try to really, stick it to him to make him like Rush. And it didn't work. So it doesn't make a difference. The same way he's saying he don't care what they say. Nobody cares what he says or his fanboys. They can sit up here, oh, AJ's scared. You heard Frank Warren himself say it's not about AJ and or Fury. It's more to, now of course he's going to say something on behalf of his guy, but he's like, it's the network. Is that bottom line? Everybody's aware of that now. It has nothing to do with, AJ and them has the contract and they don't want to fight. It's not about he want to know who he's fighting. He know who he's fighting. The whole thing is he's trying to make Anthony Joshua say, you know what, man, I don't need this. And here's the thing. Anthony Joshua had no plans, on fighting Fury. At that point, after the Usyk fight, he planned on doing two lesser opponents. Eddie Hearn said it, bottom line. And then come back and fight Dillian White and Deontay Wilder. Okay, Dillian White even made a video telling, Fury, he need to just shut the fuck up because he knows what goes into these fights. And the fact that he's carrying on and acting like a big kid, making a big thing out of nothing, which I could have played that same video, but I don't need to because I'm playing this one. And at the end of the day, that's the whole thing. See, Fury fanboys, why you don't sell it? They're saying whatever Fury's saying, they're cheerleading, pumping their fists like Arsenio Hall. It doesn't matter. Now, ask the fans this, since he's doing this for the fans. Who would they rather see? Him be patient and fight Anthony Joshua or Manuel Charr? And all this timeline shit he's trying to do, like he's trying to rush. What if, let's just say, for example, let's say he fights Manuel Charr. Right? Or if he fights AJ. What if Usyk decides he wants to fight Wilder instead? Matter of fact, let's not forget, Usyk's mandatory for his WBO is Joe Joyce. So is there a guarantee that it'll be undisputed next? And Tyson Fury wasn't treating the mandatory fight with AJ like it was a big deal back when Anthony Joshua was the unified champ. He's not treating the fight with Usyk like he says. He criticizes Usyk and calls him a blown up middleweight. And then turns around and says, this is the biggest fight in the world. And wait, how is it the biggest fight if he's a middleweight and all you need is a week's training to beat him? Because the prestige doesn't make the champion, okay? The person has a prestigious belt because it has people, champions, okay? The belt doesn't mean nothing. They can turn the WBC and turn it to the TWA for all. It's the same. It's just a hunk of metal with some straps. That's all. And it represents your rep. It's your trophy to say, this is who I represent this. I'm the champion. My name is there with Ali and Holyfield and Tyson and all these people, that type of thing, okay? But bottom, at the end of the day, nothing's etched in stone. Can we sit here and say for sure that whether it's Charr or Anthony Joshua, that the next fight is going to be undisputed? Can we say that for sure? No, we can't. And with all the curveballs being thrown in boxing, let's be real. You can pump yourself up all you want. Let's not forget. I mean, we still talking about Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence in 2022.
I think Tyson should shut his mouth and calm down a little bit, and I don't like some of the things that are coming out of his mouth. I know he's the heavyweight champion of the world, and I know that comes with an element of arrogance and self-confidence. I didn't like his antics on Saturday night, where he stole all the attention from Joe Joyce and Joseph Parker. And I don't like some of the language he uses, but I do think he has an element of entitlement. If we've given you a contract, and the management team of the people that you've given a contract to maybe not be as responsive as they possibly could be. If I'm the management team of a fighter that's been given an opportunity, irrespective of how billable and bankable that fighter is still, I'm going to turn a contract around pretty quickly with my markups, because I can put the onus back on the other side and say, I want this fight, the contract's done. I wonder if that is indeed the case. I wonder if relationships with broadcasters, the monetizing of a fighter, that may be, if he gets knocked out by Tyson Fury, he goes nowhere, he's finished, he's done, he's retired. But people have got contracts with DAZN. People have got long-term relationships with DAZN, which Anthony Joshua is a key component of. Do you really want these fights now? Do you really want to see your fighter potentially go in against Fury, get knocked out?
Didn't I say, in like the very first or second video, there's a lot on the line. So if Anthony Joshua decides that he's going to take this fight, he better be ready. Because, you know, like him being a poster boy for DAZN, him having his sponsors and some sponsorships and all that with other companies and all this, and you know, being a brand. Didn't I say he has a lot to lose? This would be his third loss, whether it's knocked out or decision. You understand what I'm saying? Bottom line, even if it's competitive, it's still 3 straight losses. Did I not say that? And then understand the networks and like they can say, look, man, we got a lot of money riding on you. What if you go in and lose? This shit's over. Did I not say that before? And the point of that was, don't let Fury or nobody rush you into that ring like you feel like you have to prove something and you going in and you're not where you should be. So, yeah, all of that stuff in consideration, that's on the side of him versus Fury. Is he ready? But that has nothing to do with what's happening right now. And Frank Warren made that clear, and so did Eddie Hearn. So what they're saying, they're hypothetically speaking, but that has nothing to do with what's happening right now. Okay, so let me just put that in there. And yeah, I agree. He needs to shut his mouth, like he said. I think Fury needs to just shut up. But yeah, he needs to shut up. All of this talking he's doing, he's running his mouth, but he's not making any moves that anybody fucking cares about, other than his minions just, ooh, open those cheeks for us again, Fury. We just love the scent. That's what they basically do for him. That means nothing. But they're, like I said, they don't want to try to burn bridges with either person. So they're trying to make points on both sides. At the same time, if you was a part of a management company and you had a stipulation or whatever, why would you try to rush? Like, what's the purpose? Do you understand what Fury's? Do they understand what Fury's purpose for saying, hurry up, do it now? So you can't. So it's easy to say that from a perspective without analyzing all this shit. What is his purpose? What is his intentions for trying to rush it? It doesn't matter. He's the A side. No, it does matter. It does matter. Because he's making more out of this than what it really is. And you heard it from Frank Warren's mouth. So, again, you know, you gotta polish the furniture so everybody understands what's going on.
Then have no ability to monetize him going forward. It feels to me that there isn't enough endeavour. 2 weeks to have a contract, and they've had it for 2 weeks.
So that's ample time.
Is long enough.
Yeah.
And now the deadline of 5 o'clock is Tyson Fury jumping up and down going, I'm the boss, I'm the man, I tell you when it gets done. But if you turn contracts round, even if you show best endeavours to go, we're not finishing this contract by 5 o'clock, it's not practically possible. Right? The Queen's passed away during the time we've had the contract. We've been abroad dealing with big fights in America. We've got other things to be doing. We haven't been able to make meetings or perhaps even take Zoom calls because that's not how the world works. But what we'll do is we'll show intent by sending you back a marked up copy of what we want.
Fair enough.
Now, if that doesn't happen,
that wouldn't matter.
Imagine if your friend...
That would not fucking matter. Why? Tyson Fury don't care what anything else is. He just, listen, he's saying, out of his mouth, the only person holding up the fight is Anthony Joshua. That's what Tyson Fury said. Frank Warren says something completely different. Frank Warren is not even the one saying this about Anthony Joshua. It's Fury. Frank Warren is not the one rushing. It's Fury. Who's the management team? Who's the people calling the shots? Okay, Fury. I'm not the businessman. Okay, I don't concern myself with that. I train for the fight, right? But he has a lot to say now. So that means nothing because Frank Warren himself just said, I don't like this deadline stuff. I don't like doing that. And basically, he's pleased with the way things are moving. He himself wants Fury to be patient. He just expressed that. So they're just hypothetically speaking. And I'm breaking this down because, see, Fury minions will go, see, even they said it. Understand. They're speaking from the standpoint of what they see. But they don't know can they sit here and explain to you what the holdup is? Can they tell you what the broadcasting situation is? No, they can't. None of us can sit in detail what we just know that's where they are now. That is what the holdup is. Frank Warren himself has said that. Let me reiterate. He has said that. So it's not about they don't want the fight. They're scared now. No. Stop it. That's what y'all like to think.
Or George Warren, and you get a marked up contract back from Eddie Hearn, you walk over to your guy that's jumping up and down like a demented Tasmanian devil and say, Tyson, shut up. This is under control. It's moving in the right direction. Yeah. You might find that Tyson Fury isn't flapping his gums. Or you might believe the alternative argument that Tyson Fury has no intention of fighting Anthony Joshua. He has every intention of fighting Mahmoud Charr.
And that's exactly what it is. And that's exactly why he stated the same thing I stated in the last video, how Tyson Fury's ego is so huge in his ignorance that he goes over and instead of congratulating Joe Joyce and Parker for putting on a fight, he's friends with Parker, right? Supposed to be his brother, right? They would never fight each other. Joe Joyce is under the same stable he's in. He goes over there and starts making it about him and Anthony Joshua. You understand what I'm saying? The dude is full of himself. Y'all can sit here and worship and bow and do all of that. This is not ever. I never defend a fighter because I don't know these people. I defend the logic, the truth, and the reasoning. This is what idiots don't want to understand. Not these two particular. They just don't want to look biased. Like they're taking Fury's side or they're taking AJ's side. They're looking at possibilities. I get that. But I'm making it clear, bringing these points out because, like I said, people hear things and they run with it. These two don't know what's going on. And you heard them play the clip of Frank Warren. In that same interview, I saw that interview. And out of Frank Warren's mouth, it's not Anthony Joshua. It's up to the broadcasting thing, the legal team right now. But they're not bringing up the legal team. They're not saying these things. You understand what I'm saying? So, look, and they only have a certain amount of time. You know, this, I don't know how long this show is, but this clip right here is like almost done, like 6 minutes and 44 seconds. So that's what this is. That's what they are with this. They're not, let me break down everything, they don't know all of that. They cannot tell you that. So keep that in mind.
Wants it as a tune-up to fight Usyk in March for an undisputed in Saudi Arabia where he gets a big bag of money, and Joshua is just a side distraction.
And in the meantime, all the boxing fans all around the country have been wound up by what they've heard.
Well, that's nothing...
Quite unfairly.
That's nothing abnormal in the world of boxing.
But
what it does is...
I've all been taken for a ride.
Well, you know, we've been taken for a ride insofar as we're emotionally invested. But the bottom line, I don't believe...
And that's part of your problem. You guys are emotionally invested. And see, when people like myself bring the boxing news and you got idiots coming at, oh, man, you ain't put no respect on Tyson's name. Fuck you and fuck Tyson. At the same time, the whole point is, we're not here. Okay? I'm not here. Aries is not here to baby you. I'm not here to wipe your dribble off your mouth. I'm not here to sit here and burp you. Okay? At the end of the day, we bring the boxing news. Okay? And as many times as I have said things that I disagree with Anthony Joshua, Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather, Jamal Charlo, whoever. And for you to try to, oh man, you just a fan. No, I'm nobody's fan, jackasses. I keep telling you guys all the time, you got the wrong guy. See, you guys jump from channel to channel. I call you a bunch of channel whores. That's what y'all are. And argue with people about who's not talking in favor of your favorite fighter. And that's all it is. That's all it is. So, Not that I care anyway, because I'm going to do me. I do what I want. I say what I want. And ain't nobody going to do nothing about it. Simple. So at the end of the day, we bring boxing news. This interview is almost over. Let me see what they're going to say to close it out.
I don't believe the mantra that Fury doesn't want to fight Joshua. And I also don't believe that Joshua doesn't want to fight Fury.
So they want to fight?
I believe the fighters want to fight. I believe the devil's in the detail, and you might have to look somewhere else for the reasons why contracts aren't
So if the
getting
ball's in
completed.
any court, whose court is it?
Obviously.
As we speak right now.
Well, given the opportunities being given to Joshua, I would think the people that have to work harder to get a contract completed are those that are being given a bigger opportunity.
Right. Eddie Hearn and Joshua.
I think so. But I think Joshua's...
It's up to the legal team right now.
His reaction would be, I'll have that fight. And maybe management thinks we don't want to cash the checks that your mouth is writing right now because maybe it's not in your best interest to be fighting Tyson Fury because if you get your clock cleaned, that's you done.
Yeah. With all due respect to, what's his name? Mahmoud Charr. Get it signed. Get the fight on. Just do it. For the sake of the boxing public. Coming up to 11 o'clock.
Now, like I said, they're trying to be neutral. You heard him say they believe Fury wants to fight and they believe AJ wants to fight. Okay. But what they don't say, it's not up to AJ right now. It's up to the legal team. AJ is in as far as everything else. They don't. What is it to not understand? Like what is it? Like how hard is it to digest? Look, man, the legal teams are involved. This is a broadcasting issue right now. Frank Warren himself has said it. Okay, so it wasn't just Eddie Hearn. Frank Warren has also said it, okay? You heard what Frank Warren even said about he don't like the rush, he don't like the detail, the deadlines. This is Fury doing this. But you, with the slave mentality, because you worship Fury, think that people are supposed, oh, Fury, whatever you want. Whatever you say, master. Yes, boss. Whatever you say, outcomes are running to you. Fuck out of here with that slavery bullshit. Ain't nobody running to nobody. At the end of the fucking day, it's called business. And the same way when Finkel and Wilder tried to pull that bullshit, you got 48 hours, sign it, or no deal. No negotiations or nothing. That wasn't bullshit. But he said he'll fight for 50 million tomorrow if he... Okay. Did you even prove? Can you show me that you even had 50 million? No. We don't need proof. Either take it or leave it. But then when he turned down 120 million, his stupid ass excuse was because the zone wouldn't tell them how much Anthony Joshua was making. And that came out of Finkel and Wilder's mouth. Wasn't about what the fanboy said. And furthermore, what you guys are also not understanding, again, you make it seem like Anthony Joshua is some up-and-coming guy who hasn't made it. Anthony Joshua probably could retire right now and never have to fight again for the rest of his life. Okay? And remember, Fury, I believe the brother is bipolar. Because remember, a couple of months ago, he made a video. Remember, Fury, your boy, made the video saying, all the people saying that Anthony Joshua's a bum. Let me tell you guys, what have you done with your life? The man can go and play with his kids. He can retire right now. He can spend time with his family. The guy's went and made it for himself. What have you done with your life? Huh? 1 minute, he's defending Anthony Joshua. Are y'all calling him a fanboy for that? But then the next minute, he's a bum. He has no balls. Oh, he's not an elite fighter. So, at the end of the day, if he's so easy to beat, you wouldn't be sweating the time. Fury has his own agenda. He's trying to make people work around the clock for him the way he wants them to. And Anthony Joshua is like, listen here, I already took the 60-40. I ain't stressing about that. Okay? But at the same time, you're not going to bitch me into doing nothing. Now, it's not even up to Anthony Joshua, Eddie Hearn at this point. It's the legal team, which is what you don't hear nobody saying. And also, let me correct some bullshit that one of you idiots left in the comment section. Okay? You made a comment saying, oh, you talking about Fury's ego, and Hearn was sitting there, Anthony Joshua was talking about 60-40, and he just came off 2 losses. No, you backwards ass, jackass moron. That's not what the deal was. Okay? They agreed to the 60-40. What Eddie Hearn said, you dumb jackass, was if Tyson Fury loses to Anthony Joshua, Instead of in the rematch it being 50-50, well, if he beats you, why don't Anthony Joshua get 60-40 in the rematch? Because at that point, he beats you. He's not a WBC champion. He's in the driver's seat. That's what he was trying to do. Get 60-40 in the rematch if Tyson Fury loses to Anthony Joshua in the first fight. Okay? You remember that horrible bargain that Kambosos gave on Devin Haney? That win, lose, or draw, he takes the lion's share of the money. In the rematch, win, lose, or draw, he takes the lion's share of the money. And both fights have to be in Australia. Devin Haney is nowhere near where Anthony Joshua is. And this is him stepping up to, I'm about to become undisputed. He took that bullshit. They tried to even get dirty on him, and all of a sudden at the last minute, oh, your dad can't come because of something he did years ago. See, but y'all don't bring up the bullshit. Y'all try to overlook the bullshit. And somehow you're supposed to just find a way to just overcome everything. See, you get to play basketball, on a 10-foot hoop, but your opponent got to play the 12-foot hoop. That's the kind of shit that you guys are into. Making excuses, and then basically you guys wouldn't care if Fury got knocked the fuck out like Harold Sconia knocked out Wilder, and then all of a sudden the same thing. They give him a second chance in the same fight he was knocked out in. And let's say he wound up getting rid of Anthony Joshua. Y'all would no, he wasn't really knocked out. What happened was, no, we saw Harold Sconia knock Deontay Wilder out. And the referee, believe me, why you think you can't find that Deontay Wilder Harold Sconia fight nowhere? Type it in. Check YouTube anywhere. You will not find that fight anywhere. There's a reason for that. So now, they feel like Tyson Fury need to shut his mouth. I do. Dylan does, and so many other people do. We don't care about what you fanboys are saying. I'm gonna put some respect on Wilder's name. Man, fuck you and fuck on Fury's name. Fuck you and fuck Fury. Fuck y'all think this is, man. Anyway, just wanted to play that for y'all. This video, like I said, I was doing a video this morning. In fact, this morning was the first time I saw it. And then I'm listening, and like they said, okay, so today's Tuesday. This video they did this morning. So I decided, okay, you know what? Let me just do the video over, because the video that I did, pretty much the same thing I'm doing now, but I had to scrap it. And this is where we are. So from the very beginning, Tyson Fury knew he wanted to fight Manuel Charr, not Derek Chisora, but he said Chisora's name. Frank Warren said Chisora's name, and Chisora wanted to, hey, you know what? Nah, let's fight. And he's telling them, sign the contract. If you really want to fight, sign the contract, knowing damn well he ain't sent no contract for him to sign. And he knew the cameras was on him. That's why I'm just looking like, wow, was this staged? Was it? Was it? You're at somebody's fight. Here you are outside of Joe Joyce versus Joseph Parker's fight, and you're sitting up here talking about a possible fight with Derek Chisora. Meanwhile, you got Manuel Charr sitting up here talking about he's fighting you next. We all see through the bullshit smoke screen, man. Even your minions, they see it. They're just too dumb to analyze what they're looking at. That's just the reality. And that's why they get their panties in a bunch when they hear the truth. The truth fucks you up. Facts hurt people. You can't sit here and say, and on top of that, remember how he said November 27th or the 3rd, right? Frank Warren said that Fury told AJ, pick one. So wait a minute. I thought it was the 12th. Remember that? And then Frank Warren was the one, and Fury's the one said they had the building locked for the 17th. Goddamn, the 27th is one date. The 3rd is another date. The 12th is a third date. The 17th is a fourth date. This was coming from their mouths. From their mouths. So it just goes to show you, all this anger and this bullshit that he's showing towards Anthony Joshua, this frustration, he's upset because Anthony Joshua called his bluff. And he's trying so hard to do what George Kambosos was trying to do to Devin Haney, which is trying to make him say, man, fuck you and this deal. I don't need this shit, and walk away so he can say the guy was scared of him, which is what he ended up saying anyway. Now, you hear Frank Warren saying it's a broadcasting situation with the legal team, but you don't hear fucking Tyson Fury saying that now, do you? So which one of them lying? He's saying the same thing Eddie Hearn is saying, but he's telling everybody it's Anthony Joshua. Joshua's scared to fight him. That's what he tried to accomplish from the beginning. I reached out to AJ. He don't want to fight. I reached out to Usyk. He don't want to fight. Well, I need to just keep busy, and the only person available right now is Manuel Charr. Like, really, y'all? That's what that came down to. So pretty much, if this guy really wanted to fight, as bad as he's trying to pretend, because what prestige is it defending your WBC title? On your record, it's going to say you defended your WBC title against Manuel Charr. Really? That is a prestigious fight? Don't be shocked when he tries to make it seem like Manuel Charr is a better fighter than Anthony Joshua. He has balls and AJ don't. He stepped up to the challenge. I tried to fight the little middleweight. He didn't want to fight. He was scared running. AJ went scared running. Manuel Charr was the only one man enough to step up to the plate. We know that that's bullshit. And we also saw Derek Chisora getting in your face trying to get you to, hey, let's fight. And basically your dad came to your rescue. Your dad come running over there and getting in the middle like he always does, sticking his nose in other people's business. Like he's the one fighting instead of you. So all these little childish bullshit games. Y'all see what it is, man. I'm not stupid. The real ones are not stupid. But for the rest of you guys, I'm not going to pray for you because I don't believe nothing going to change anyway with that. But y'all will be all right. Y'all will be all right. And whether Fury wins, whether AJ wins, that's not even like that's yet to be seen. That has nothing to do with the process. And that's what people, Fury will beat AJ any day of the week. I'm like, and the fuck is your point? This discussion is not about who's going to win the fight. This discussion is about negotiations. But you dumb motherfuckers love to just, you love to just talk and run your mouth about nothing. And you're so busy sniffing Fury's nuts that you don't even have the common sense to understand. There's a lot that goes into business. But I guess when you don't have experience doing anything but just talking and being fanboys of people, what do you actually know? Nothing. And nobody uninvolved can tell you what the details are. But we all know fighters do this, they go through this type of stuff all the time. So Fury's not saying the same things that Frank Warren is saying. Do y'all not find that to be a little bit weird? You've never heard Frank Warren disagree with what Fury is saying or doing, right? But you heard him disagree with him several times in this situation. Because you know what? It seems like Frank Warren wants to fight more than Fury does. Fury wants to fight, but not AJ. He wants Manuel Charr. Anyway, y'all heard what the guy said, and I agree with them with some of the stuff they were saying. But also there's things that they're not detailing. They're just giving their hypotheticals, okay? But some of the things that they said, like, listen at what you're saying, okay? But listen at what Frank Warren just said. You don't need to even go into all this other stuff you're talking about because it doesn't change anything. It's not an Eddie Hearn and Fury thing at this point, and Anthony Joshua thing right now. It's the legal team. Simple. Plain and simple. Anyway, talk to me in the comment section. Only the smart people. I don't want to hear from no dumbasses because I'm just going to block you anyway. And don't go sending me no fucking, like, you idiots send. I'm like, you really think I'm going to sit here and read all this shit of you trying to defend Fury or what? I don't give a fuck what you talking about. If you don't like what I'm saying, bounce, motherfucker. I'm not these other channels. First off, I'm not even trying to read all that dumb shit. And then secondly, if you are too stupid to understand what the facts are, you definitely don't need to be talking to me. Because like I said, we're talking, you guys are just like Fury. You guys are just like Fury. He don't celebrate his so-called brother for being in a good scrap, even though he lost. He don't congratulate Joe Joyce wholeheartedly. No, he wants to use that little screen time to make it about him and AJ. You guys are the same way. We're talking about one thing, you start talking about, he can beat Anthony Joshua any day of the week. Okay, and your point is fucking what? Nobody's asking you about who I think would win a fight. Dumbasses, that's not what this is about. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all. And boy, do the truth bring hate out of people. And I will catch y'all in the next video.